sunshines, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia and I am a year 3 going on year 4 in the National University of Singapore. Today I'm gonna be bringing you guys through what I packed for exchange, and because I'm at the tail end of my exchange, I'm also going to be doing a review of what I brought over here, and I'm going to be spilling the beans on what I actually found useful at the end of the trip, what I didn't need, and what I wish I brought. I know a lot about exchange can be really confusing, so I hope this video is helpful for those who are planning to go but don't really know what to pack. But just to clarify, this is more suitable for people who are going to go on a winter to summer exchange, because that is the weather period that I personally experienced and what I packed for. So if you are going on an exchange that contains both warm climate and colder climate, then this is the video for you. I'm going to be referencing very heavily from the list that I made before I came. I have to say that I don't take credit for this packing list structure and organization. This is an Excel kind of template that I copied off one of my other friends, Sheng's, who was also going on exchange and left earlier than me. But of course I changed the content. For the very first thing, let's go to what I packed in my big check-in luggage. The first big category was all my clothes. I brought a lot of more winter-oriented wear, like thermal underwear, long-sleeved sweaters, jeans, and pants. I also brought just enough for about a week's worth of undergarments so that I could do laundry roughly based on like a once-per-week schedule. It was also important to me that I brought along some activewear things like sports clothing, because I knew I wanted to do a little bit of exercise while here, and these also doubled up as my sleepwear. For shoes, I only brought 2 pairs of shoes, my sports shoes and one going out pair of like everyday white sneaker. For bags, I brought 1 tote bag, 1 bum bag for travels, and a couple of grocery bags, because in Europe, or at least in Netherlands, they don't tend to give out plastic bags at the supermarkets and things, so it's important to bring along like a grocery bag for when you go shopping around for food and just general items. So after living here for a while, going through this list now, I would say the number one thing that I should have brought more of is spring and summer clothing, because once the weather turned warm or warmer as it is now, you really don't want to be going around wearing your long sleeve tops, your sweaters, because it's going to be very hot and uncomfortable. I did bring a couple of t-shirts, but some of them were home t-shirts, which means that they're not exactly like going out clothes. If you want to go to like a nice restaurant or going out with friends, it's not exactly suitable. So I wish that I had brought more summer style clothing, like, you know, cute tank tops or just a nice blouse or 2 that you can kind of just rewear, but at least you have something nicer to wear with your pants when the weather gets warmer, which it kind of will, even though it doesn't go to very hot like normal Singapore weather. I also think that I needed more shoes, because like I said, I was very restrained and I only brought over 2 pairs of shoes, which I used a lot, and I ended up getting more shoes. So if you don't want to like waste money on buying more pairs and you want variety like I do, I would definitely have brought over a pair of slippers. When you do your laundry, you just want to walk like downstairs to the building but not outside. You don't want to be putting on your sneakers all the time. So I definitely should have brought over a pair of slippers, or hotel slippers even, just to be able to walk inside the building with ease. And I think I would have wanted to bring over 1 more pair of shoes as well, just to have like a little variety to the outfit, because in the beginning, before I started buying more shoes, I felt like all of my outfits were basically the same because I was wearing the exact same kits every single day, every single time. Also, unless you're really determined on using winter accessories like beanies, scarves, and gloves, I would say that honestly I didn't really use mine that much. It's not like icy cold as I know other countries can be, like maybe Canada, or maybe just 1 pair of gloves for when like you're cycling. But other than that, personally, I don't think that I needed to bring over a lot of winter accessories, so I would have taken off like a scarf or 2. In terms of everything else, I think it was okay, like underwear, sports attire, and for home clothes, I felt like it was enough for me, like just nice. I didn't bring too many or too little, but I also did buy 1 pair of PJs when I was here, so yeah. Now we move on to the living category, which is more homeware related items. I packed Tupperware, I had one set of cutleries when I moved in, as well as kind of like more miscellaneous stuff like ART tests for COVID and hair dryer. I think in general the items in this category I wouldn't have changed at all. It was definitely useful to me, and things like my hand wraps for when I wanted to go boxing classes here, I use them quite a lot, and my roomie also borrowed them a couple of times, so it was definitely worth it to bring. But of course, you can customize it based on what you think you'll use in daily life. The very next category would be skincare. I used all of these, like every single one, but this was not enough for 6 months. I also bought more skincare when I was here using Netherlands websites like Douglas, and also just a couple here and there when I'm traveling. So I got more sunscreen, I topped up moisturizer. What I have on this list here lasted me for a good few months. Like some of these items lasted me all the way until this month, which is like pretty long, just that I wasn't using them every day. But yeah, just keep in mind that this is not enough for a whole like term of exchange for a person who is concerned about skincare. I think it was a good amount, and it constituted both my night and day routines. The next category is electronics, but I'm going to lump this one with the electronics that I also had in my other pieces of luggage, just because it makes more sense that way. I had a travel adapter, an extension cord. Actually, I had a lot of electronic slash tech things I brought over because I wanted to bring my camera, and camera also means that I would want my tripod, my battery charger. I also have an iPad that I use pretty much on the daily, my MacBook, my phone, and all of them have chargers. It was definitely necessary, like there's no way that I could have avoided it. And I also don't regret bringing along things like my laptop stand, because it really helped with when I was doing work or editing, just to have an extra ergonomic feature, I think. Also because I don't have a monitor like I do back at home, so it kind of made up for that. I wouldn't change anything. I think it was all super necessary, and just bring the amount that is right for you, like the devices that you need every day, and it should be okay. The final category in our big luggage is that for food. Everyone's favorite category. If you're gonna be homesick, you for sure need some local food to tide you over. I knew that I was gonna try to cook more when I was here, but you just need like a stock. You know, you need a safeguard to help you for the lonely nights and the lazy nights. So I had 4 packets of instant noodles, and these were the Prima Laksa packets. They made for actual like real dinners. I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes when you eat instant noodles, it's like they don't feel like a complete meal. But for the laksa, it kind of really did. I had that. I also brought miso sachets to make miso soup like on the go. That was also very, very useful. Of course, I had to have my matcha powder because I drink matcha almost every single day. I would have brought more because matcha, I feel like anything vaguely premium that's imported from Asia is gonna also be priced at a premium. So if you like matcha or hojicha, or you know, like black sesame, anything like that, just try to bring your own stock. It's just gonna be much cheaper. Other than that, this actually was alright for me. I think I know of other people who brought a lot more, but personally it was alright because once I got here, I started grocery shopping on my own. It was easier, or just easy to like make simple healthy dishes for myself, so this was enough for me. Big luggage closed. Now we're opening the small luggage, which is my carry-on, and the very first category for that is living. I actually already mentioned the bags that I had just now when I talked about clothes, but yes, I did use these bags a lot. I frankly didn't use my umbrella that much, but there's no way that you can travel without an umbrella, so just bring one. Masks were also very necessary until they removed restrictions for that sometime like halfway through, but of course just keep them on hand to keep yourself safe. Use it whenever you think you need to, and to protect those around you when you're sick. Let's move on to toiletries. I separated toiletries from skincare because it's a whole different category for me. Like skincare is a group on its own. For toiletries, it's more of the hygiene part of things, like my toothbrush, soap, etc. I've heard of friends who brought over their own set of like shampoo and conditioner, body soap kind of thing. I only brought with me travel-sized products. I was planning to, and I did buy my own like full-size shampoo, etc. when I got to Netherlands. For me, it wasn't worth it, I feel, because I just didn't want to like add extra weight to my luggage. I don't think that toiletries are that expensive here because there's always shops like Kruidvat or, you know, your local pharmaceutical store that sells shampoo and things, and most often they're on sale. I think if I would change anything, I would have packed more feminine hygiene products, aka pads, for when the monthly comes, because those are more expensive than like I feel regular hygiene products like soaps and etc. I don't know why, but it's just like that's just my observation, so I would have preferred not paying for it. And if you have a stash at home, and again if you have space, maybe you can consider bringing it, because I would have definitely brought more stock of that. Very important to remember to bring along medicine, because, well, firstly, you want to try not to get sick on exchange. I never had to go to the doctor, which is a really good thing. Just like going to the doctors or needing healthcare in a foreign country can be really daunting, and like, you know, just try to keep yourself well. It's really useful, of course, to have on hand like a stock of medicine that you can just take as and when that's like safe for you, like Panadol, antihistamines. I took a lot of lozenges because I'm very prone to throat infections. You know, I already have a stock of medicine that I know works for me, and I don't need to go to the pharmacy and ask for something or like try to read labels in Dutch. So very important to make sure you have medicine. For the clothes that I had in the small luggage, my carry-on, I packed an extra jacket. I borrowed my mom's winter jacket, which I didn't have, like I didn't wear it in the plane, but I wore it when I touched down in the Netherlands, so I made sure I had easy access to it. And I also had one pair of heat tech pants so that I could change into when I arrived in Netherlands as well. It's a good system because then you're not too warm when you get on your flight, but you know that you have layers to layer over or under when you reach your country of choice, and it's colder than Singapore is. The last bag that I had is my backpack, the one that I carried with me on the flight. Again, I have another living category, which I think we all can see now just means miscellaneous things. I have like a set of skincare that I wanted to do on the plane itself, like during my flight. Basically my essential things like wallet and etc. For electronics, even though I kind of grouped it just now, what I had in my backpack itself was my laptop and my iPad, just because I wanted it closer to me. I felt safer that way, and just in case I wanted to like do anything on either of those devices, like I know where to get it. It's really easy to access. As for the documents that I had to bring with me physically and like wanted to print out and have in person, I had my ART test, proof of insurance, proof of student admission to Erasmus, as well as my vaccination forms to show that like I'm triple vaccinated. Among these, the only one that I used was my vaccination cert, and I had multiple copies of that just in case. So I feel that just for any official document that you have, it's a good idea to photocopy and keep one set with you on hand, and then maybe like another 1 or 2 sets in your luggage, just in case something happens, you lose it, or you need another or something like that. On hindsight, I would also probably have brought along like a physical, like a photocopy of my IC and my passport and a passport photo, just because these are all like very official documents that you might need when you apply for like residence permits, or you want to have a school card and they need like a passport photo of you. It's way easier if you already have it on hand rather than like needing to print it when you're here. So that's what I would have brought along with me as well if I had known earlier. So that's it. That is everything that I brought along with me to here, and my post-mortem, my post-exchange review. I hope that it's a good benchmark for what you need to pack when you go on exchange, or just if you're curious. That's all for today's video. I'm going to resume trying to sort out all my stuff now. And I'll see you very soon. Bye! Why? I don't even like K-pop that much.
Really?
Yeah!
Yeah, not as much as her, but
Yeah!
really?
What do you want to roll?
I mean, I know like...
What do you mean to roll? Everything?
Oh, I don't need to roll. I can roll it myself.
This one goes there.
Rolling, rolling, rolling! Rolling, rolling! I'm gonna put this inside.
vlog?
Yeah, it's all quality.
No, I did not know you were vlogging. Drinking for it.
I never worn one.
Thanks, that's my hoodie.
You didn't use it though.